On February 10, 2026, longtime Vancouver Canucks play-by-play commentator Jim Robson passed away. Grammy-winning crooner and the voice coach Michael Bublé paid a heartfelt homage to the Canadian broadcasting legend just hours after. "Today, I lost one of my heroes," Buble stated solemnly, adding that while many individuals have influenced his music, Robson's broadcasting voice and presence in his life held special significance for him. Buble paid tribute to Robson and his family in a touching video, featuring Robson's daughter Jennifer Butler, who told CBC News that her father, 91, passed away after a brief illness. Buble, a native Canadian and ardent hockey enthusiast, posted a self-portrait video that was both solemn and joyous, recalling how much Robson made him smile. He was casually dressed in a hoodie and ball cap. "I believe he lived his life as a gentleman and the personification of class," Buble remarked. "And we've had some poor luck as hockey fans and Canucks supporters. However, we had the best in that regard. The best ever, in my opinion. He leaves a huge legacy," Buble added. "I believe that Jim Howson and John Shorthouse loved and respected him, and they truly carried on his legacy because of the fact that he passed away. As fans, we're really fortunate to have the best play-by-play analysts in the world," the hitmaker stated. "Jim, I thank you on behalf of the NHL, all hockey fans, Canuck fans, and sports fans. I appreciate you being such an important part of my life. You are everything to me. Man, to get to know you, to get to write with you and correspond with you, was an honor," Buble said, implying that he knew Robson personally. "Not just for me, but also for my father and relatives. Although we are deeply saddened for your family, Jim, you will always be remembered. I adore you very lot." From the Canucks' first major league game in October 1970 until his retirement in 1999, Robson was the team's first play-by-play commentator, calling almost 2,000 NHL games in his 47-year broadcasting career, according to CBC News. According to CBC News, Robson told CBC Radio on his 90th birthday, in January 2025, that he still thought he could have done a better job with many of his calls, saying, "Every time I hear those clips, I think how I could make them a little better." Given that he complimented Robson in his video for painting such an incredible picture during his radio broadcasts and said that he made some of the greatest calls of all time, Buble would undoubtedly contest that. Warmth has always been a hallmark of Michael Buble. Whether he is singing about love, nostalgia, or heartbreak, his voice exudes an enduring emotional honesty. However, the well-liked musician recently posted a video with his followers in which he disclosed a very personal loss that left him clearly rattled. "I lost one of my heroes," Buble said to fans, speaking straight to the camera with the quiet sincerity that has characterized his career. The moment was straightforward, yet it was clearly filled with emotion. His eyes showed both thanks and sorrow, his voice grew softer, and the message went well beyond the words. This loss meant more to Buble than simply bidding farewell to a person he looked up to. It was about paying tribute to those who influence our life, our creativity, and our sense of direction. A vulnerability moment. Buble didn't have the polished stage presence that audiences often witness during performances in the video. Grand gestures, stage lighting, and orchestras were absent. Simply a man expressing his emotions. The moment was even more impactful because of its simplicity. He clarified that his life and profession had been guided by the person he lost. He didn't go into great detail right away, but it was obvious that this person had shaped not just his musical career, but also his moral principles. Every deliberate word choice and every pause conveyed the emotional weight of the loss. Buble has never hesitated to open out to his audience about personal situations. He has talked candidly about parenting, family, and the difficulties of living in the spotlight throughout the years. This latest video seems to be a continuation of that continuous dialogue with viewers. He delivered something more personal than a well-crafted public message. Instead of speaking to millions of people, he spoke as though he were confiding in intimate friends. Part of the reason Buble is so well-liked in the music industry is because of his genuineness. His singing prowess is not the only thing that fans adore. They relate to his candor and willingness to be honest, even if it means showing suffering. Remembering a hero, The fact that Buble called the person he lost one of his heroes revealed a great deal about the strength of their bond. Heroes aren't usually well-known people or celebrities. They can be friends, relatives, or mentors who have a significant influence on us. Heroes have always been an important part of Buble's path. He was raised admiring great artists who set the bar for jazz and pop. He was able to create the distinctive sound that would eventually make him famous all over the world thanks to those influences. Beyond his musical inspiration, however, he has frequently discussed the value of personal mentors who helped him navigate the business and life in general. Buble talked about how this specific hero helped him at various points in his career in the video. He talked about the guidance they provided, the example they established, and the lessons he gained from them. His statements were filled with both pain and profound gratitude. He stated unequivocally that the individual's influence on his life would endure long after they were gone. The message had a worldwide appeal because of that combination of thankfulness and sadness. The experience of losing someone who helped to define one's identity could resonate with many people. Buble and his audience felt a connection because he was willing to share that experience. Memory and music frequently becomes a means of processing emotions for musicians such as Buble. He has utilized songs to convey happiness, longing, and introspection throughout his career. That artistic expression might be particularly significant at times of grief. Fans instantly started to question if his future songs might be influenced by this poignant experience. Buble has a track record of incorporating personal experiences into his compositions. Listeners frequently get the impression that he is narrating a story that transcends the lyrics when he performs. Future projects' themes and feelings may be influenced by this new phase of his life. He alluded to how music aids in his coping throughout the video. He talked about songs that brought back memories, time spent with the person he lost, and the solace that music can provide in trying times. It implied that music would remain his means of paying tribute to those who inspire him, even though it was not an official announcement of new material. Buble's artistic practice has always revolved around this relationship between melody and memory. Whether he is delivering an original song or interpreting a historical standard, many of his performances have the feel of homages to the past. This feeling of remembrance now becomes even more intimate. Supportive reactions from fans from all across the world sent supportive messages within hours of the video's publication. Comments on social media sites were replete with expressions of respect, gratitude, and sympathy. Numerous viewers contributed their personal loss narratives, fostering a community of empathy and memory. Mutual respect has always been the foundation of Buble's relationship with his fans. Instead of describing them as a remote audience, he frequently refers to them as an extended family. This most recent message strengthened that connection. He allowed his audience to relate to him on a profoundly human level by being transparent about his loss. Some admirers commented on how consoling it was to hear a well-known person talk so openly about grief. It was wonderful to see Buble's vulnerability in a world when celebrities frequently keep their appearances meticulously manicured. It served as a reminder that grief affects everyone, even celebrities, and that everyone experiences it. Others considered the concept of heroes in their personal lives. The statement, "I lost one of my heroes," struck a profound chord since it encapsulated a particular type of loss. It can be like losing a piece of yourself when you lose someone who helped to form your goals and ideals. The teachings and experiences they leave behind, however, continue to direct us, as Buble underlined. The influence of tradition. Buble brought up the subject of legacy repeatedly throughout the video. He talked about how his job and outlook on life had been impacted by the person he lost. Their wisdom, generosity, and ideals would always be a part of him. The message was changed from one of utter grief to one of hope, thanks to this viewpoint. Buble stressed the value of continuing the legacy of people who inspire us while also understanding the anguish of loss. We preserve their essence by living in a way that respects their impact. Fans were urged by him to pause and honor the heroes in their own life. Recognizing the influence of those people, whether they are still alive or have departed, can foster a sense of connectedness and thankfulness. The video became more than just a private announcement because of its statement. It served as a reminder to value connections and honor those who influence our paths. A career based on passion emotion has always been a defining characteristic of Michael Bublé's career. His performances, which range from lively swing tunes to romantic ballads, exude an authenticity that appeals to all ages. His communication with fans reflects that honesty, which goes beyond his music. He has highlighted numerous personal milestones over the years, including both familial and professional accomplishments. His strategy has always been based on sincerity. That trend is maintained in this most recent video. He made the decision to address his audience directly, rather than hiding behind a publicist's statement. His conviction that life and music are intricately linked is reflected in that choice. For Bublé, performing on stage is only one aspect of being an artist. It is about establishing sincere relationships with individuals. By publicly expressing his loss, he reaffirmed that bond and encouraged followers to experience the sadness and thankfulness that accompany remembering a loved one. Gratitude-based progress. At the end of the video, Bublé's tone changed a little. There was a sense of acceptance even if the sadness persisted. He talked about how important it is to carry memories with you as you go on. He said that losing someone we love does not negate their effect. Rather, it might increase our gratitude for the time we spent together. He expressed gratitude to his fans for their unwavering support and for letting him show his vulnerability. That appreciation seemed sincere. It emphasized how he has developed a mutually beneficial relationship with his audience over the years. Through his music, he receives encouragement from his fans, who then have glimpses into his personal life. Bublé's journey might enter a new stage with this moment of candor. Artists frequently change as a result of their personal experiences, and major losses might alter their artistic viewpoints. One thing is certain, even though it's unclear how this may affect his future work. He will continue to be guided by his dedication to genuineness, a thought that goes beyond music. The poignant message Michael Bublé conveys about losing one of his inspirations transcends the realm of celebrity news. It discusses universal subjects like thankfulness, loss, and the lasting influence of people who motivate us. He reminded supporters that vulnerability can be a source of strength, rather than weakness, by being so transparent about his sentiments. Moments like these help public figures connect with their admirers in a world where they frequently feel aloof. A common space for introspection and empathy was established by Bublé's readiness to speak from the heart. Fans were able to witness not just a performer, but also an individual traversing the same emotional terrain as everyone else. Bublé carries forward the inspiration and lessons that influenced him as he continues to pay tribute to the hero he lost. His music, performances, and connections with fans will surely continue to reflect those inspirations.